Welcome to ClassAct. Our guest today is Paula Davis, entrepreneur, marketer, and owner of Canyon Creek Soap Company of Amarillo, Texas. Thank you for joining us today, Paula.
You're welcome, Dr. Gurley.
How did you get started in the soap business?
Oh, goodness. I love making things, and about 8 or 10 years ago, I started making handmade soap. A friend showed me how, and I loved it. I was a homemaker at the time. Started making soap only as gifts and for my family. And years later, it became a business, and I started formulating my own recipes and making lip balm and lotion and foot cream and all kinds of good stuff.
Well, I know you've moved several times during the growth of your company. Tell us how you got started in your first location and have evolved to your present location.
Okay, I started in my home because I was a single mom and I wanted to be home with my kids, and eventually it turned into a retail storefront here in Canyon, Texas, and did that for a couple of years, and it was really pulling me away from my family, but it was a good move in a lot of ways. I built a lot of customers, wholesale and retail. Went back to home-based, became incubated at the WTAMU Enterprise Center about 2.5 years ago, and spent several years there going through business coaching and an incubation process. Learned an awful lot about business management from them and marketing, and turning it more from a craft business into a legitimate business. And recently graduated from there and have purchased a home with a shop on the property. Now I run my business exclusively out of my home again.
What kinds of challenges have you faced along the way?
Many. A lot of them were the fact that I didn't have a business degree. I didn't really know a lot about business. I knew what I loved. I had a passion for the products and what they did for my skin and my family's skin, and so it was an easy transition to turn that passion into a business. It just seemed seamless, but I didn't really know how to run it as a business. The incubation process helped me a great deal in that regard.
How exactly do you make soap? I mean, we all use it, but we have no idea from where it comes.
Yes, it is a chemical process called saponification, and the basic explanation is you mix an acid and I'm going to get this wrong, but you basically mix a pot of oils and fats and butters with a pot of water or tea and milk, tea or milk with lye mixed, and you mix those together, and a chemical reaction called saponification happens, the byproduct of which is soap. You get glycerin and a salt called soap. The corporate companies like Dove and places like that, they suck out the glycerin and sell it to lotion companies. Handmade soap, that remains in the soap, so it's very moisturizing and good for your skin, and that's why you should buy our products.
The last few years, the economy has not exactly been soaring. How has the economy affected your business?
The economy has definitely affected our business. A lot of our small shops and boutiques, not just in this area, actually not as much in this area, but in other parts of the country, have actually just gone out of business, or they've slowed their buying. They're being much more careful with their spending. So we've had to change our goals and the places we place our products as a result of that, and we have to be willing to change, I guess, in the midst of a bad economy.
Tell us about your products and what makes them so unique.
Our products are unique in that they are handmade. Every batch is touched. My hands touched it. It's a process that is my own recipes, and I control the ingredients. You can look at our labels and know exactly what's in it. You don't have to have a chemistry degree to read the label. And every single ingredient that we put in our products are of benefit to your skin. And some of them depends. Our facial products, we have facial products for mature skin or for youthful skin that has acne outbreaks. And so we try to do things that are beneficial for the user.
So you have lip balms, lotions, soaps. What am I missing here?
Yeah, we have foot cream. We have gift sets of all different kinds. We have wonderful shaving products for men. That's a great product. A lot of men are going back to the old-fashioned shaving method. They find it to be satisfying, but they also find it's much better for their skin. But women like our shaving products on their legs as well. You won't get a rash. You get a nice, smooth, close shave with moisturized skin. lip balms are fabulous. We have travel size lotions. We have solid lotion. We have an outdoor product for people who like to camp and fish and go to soccer games that keeps the mosquitoes away in the summer. So we try to cover. We have great foot cream.
How difficult is it to get distribution for all of your products?
That's a little difficult, especially as a small business. Getting your foot in the door. We're actually working right now with McCarty Hall, a distribution company in Amarillo, about looking at getting in some of their outlets. And so they're going to start distributing for us, and that's a big deal. It should turn into a really great thing for us. But getting the attention of those types of companies is really difficult as a small business. So I think it's crucial, though, to grow. You have to educate yourself on that process and get your foot in the door and just make it happen and be bold about it. And that's, I think I'm just stubborn enough that I don't give up.
There's lots of personal care products and soaps out there. What role does pricing play in your marketing strategy?
It plays a role. You don't want to be the cheapest, but I personally don't think I should be the most expensive. I care about being frugal. I care about getting a good value for my dollar, and I want my customers to know that they're getting a very good product for a good price. We're not the cheapest bar of soap, though, but I think people find a great value for the money that they spend with our products.
Now, you just mentioned having developed products for men and for shaving and so forth. What kinds of challenges have you faced in selling to a different demographic?
It's challenging. Even getting men to try lotion is a challenge. But once they'll use our soaps or our shaving soaps, they're usually sold because it is very moisturizing and it's not super expensive. It's a little luxury that they can have for themselves and not worry about having to have broken out skin. And so it's a problem getting them to try it. But once they try it, they're great customers. They're some of our best customers, I say.
Well, I know you have a very good website and you are able to conduct e-commerce from it, and I see you all over Facebook. Tell us how you leverage social media and electronic media to your advantage.
Well, I really have reached a point where I think that social media is a necessary evil in some ways. For some of us who are a little bit older that maybe resist it, it's better than buying a billboard. It's where everybody is right now. They're on their computer all day long, youth especially, but more and more people in my age group they have their iPhones with them all the time. They're always on Facebook or Twitter. So instead of buying a billboard at the side of the freeway where people are really looking down at their phones when they shouldn't be while they're driving, they're going to see my constant presence. And I'm really not constantly on there, but I post enough that I'm in front of crowds at different times of the day. I try to post something in the morning, something mid-afternoon, something in the evening, at least every day. And I do think that's really important. We've built a good number of followers on our Facebook page, and many of them are people that I don't know that have just organically come from others sharing or them finding me on through my website and then clicking and becoming fans. But I think it's crucial for any business in this day and age to be involved in social media.
We live in an era of rapid social and technological change. What kinds of changes do you see coming down the pike that are going to affect how you do business?
I think a lot of it is going to be things like being online, being videos like what we're doing right now. If I want to talk to a group of people, it's going to have to be in this type of setting. You don't get invited to groups. Groups are dissipating. There aren't as many networking groups. There aren't as many social groups. Even civic organizations, I think, are shrinking, and that's sad, that personal contact. But I think just having a presence online and being willing to change as technology changes.
Now, of all your sales, you've got distributors throughout the country, some local, some far away. You also have your e-commerce. How do your sales break down between online direct versus through your intermediaries?
I would say probably right now with the intermediaries, it's maybe 25% of my overall business that most of my customers I have direct contact with, and I'm driving most of them now instead of making phone orders or emailing me to set up an online account and work that all through my website, so it's much more streamlined and I can do it with less staff, which is crucial in this type of an economy. But I would say 75% of it is direct through me. That should change as we bring in more distribution type scenarios.
One thing that has caught my attention is your use of very non-traditional organic marketing methods, and I see this on your Facebook posts every day. In fact, that's why I contacted you. I saw that you had done something very unique with a car dealership. Tell us how you have managed to put products in places that people would never expect to see them.
Well, again, I think it has to do with our changing society, how little time we all have to go out and shop. And Street Toyota here in Amarillo, Pete's Car Smart Kia here in Amarillo, and oh gosh, there's Park Place Motor Cars in Fort Worth. There are actually quite a few car dealerships now that are seeing, by having a really nice gift shop in their car dealership, they are serving their customers and also finding another revenue source for themselves. So if you're stuck getting an oil change in their car dealership, or your wife's out, negotiating on a car she wants, and you're stuck sitting there, instead of reading a magazine, you can do your shopping for your mother-in-law's birthday that's next week. And so they've got kind of a captive audience, and it's a great location for our products. Most of those car dealerships that do have gift shops have really nice lines of products, and unless you've been there to see it, you wouldn't know that. But it's a great source for us, and they actually sell as much or more than some of our other retail locations.
Do you have any other non-traditional sites that showcase your product?
I wouldn't say, like, United Market Street's not really non-traditional, but they're living well areas dealing with a customer like myself who wants an organic or very natural product line, and they have very highly educated sales managers in those departments of the store. So it's not just a grocery store. You actually have somebody who knows about natural products who can answer your questions. So that's a really good location for our product line. That's probably the most unique, though, are the car dealerships. But I do I see that as a good growing place for a nice gift shop. Is a place, any place where you're captive and you can't get up. And I think hospitals should put their gift shops in the waiting rooms. They'd probably do a lot better.
You've done exceptionally well with your business here. I'm just wondering, where do you go from here? What are your long-term plans?
Well, I have, yeah, my long-term plans are, I love what I do, so I do have some long-term plans of either things like a spa or a bed and breakfast type retreat area with a manufacturing facility on site where we would do gardens with our herbs and bring in tourists to see the farms and to stay at the bed and breakfast and have it be sort of an entire community, I guess you would say, is something that's always been a vision of mine. But I have other business ideas too that are sort of off on the side. I have a couple of invention ideas and things. So it sort of just depends on how it plays out. You never know. With business, I mean, I'm also open-minded about someday somebody walking up and offering me to buy it, and I walk away and start one of my other ideas too. So I think as a business owner, you always have to be open-minded to those types of things.
One of the things I like to leave for my students is words of hope and inspiration that you might be able to give to them. What kinds of things would you say to my students today to encourage them to consider starting their own business, being their own boss, and knowing that it can be done successfully?
It can be. I think for me, the biggest piece of advice that I would give somebody is you have to be passionate about whatever it is you're doing. You have to love it, because every day is not a good day. And you have good times in the economy and bad times in the economy, things that you can't change, that you have no effect over. And you either roll with the punches or you don't. And passion, I think, is what takes you through those difficult times. And having a vision for where you want to be at a certain time in your life, but also being willing to change those things, because sometimes things happen that are beyond your control in business or in life. And you simply have to be prepared for that, to know that you're in it for the long haul, because it is not always easy. In fact, most of the time it's probably harder being your own boss and running your own business, but it's more rewarding. And I feel like it gives me the freedom to do what I want to do with my life in other areas, not just in business.
Well, Paula, thank you so much for joining us today and showcasing your products and your company. I wish you the very best. I know I will see plenty of you on Facebook
Yes.
in the days ahead. And thank you for joining us on Class Act today. Back to you.